I shouldn't have corralled you there, I'm sorry.
I got it. Susanna Davis, and it's the Office of Racial Equity.
Let me get my.
Vermont Racial Equity Director Susanna Davis. And it's
I took the liberty of unrolling
I'm so glad you did
one
that.
copy of each of these. I see there's 2 copies, so I
There's
put the other
2.
ones away.
And I gotta go throw this I gotta go throw this in the clerk's office.
Hi.
Hey, Delane, how are you?
Static is getting my hair is just.
Well, the air, I'm sure, is dry and
Yes.
staticky, yes.
Yes.
You all right there?
Yeah, you all set?
Yeah, I just had to drop something off for the clerk.
Okay, hey, so I'm probably gonna be here another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabriel, if you could just, turn that off. I guess what happens if you close it, it doesn't turn it off, so it'll run for like 14 hours, so.
Okay, so I have to turn it off by doing what?
A good thing to double check now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically you
Turn
just
this
hit
around.
that.
Yeah, this
Hit
is the
what?
big version of
To
the same
close
thing we
and
saw
upper
last
right.
time, I think.
I wasn't here
Okay,
last
got
time.
it.
And what
Well,
it'll
then you
do
should
is
absolutely
it'll
look
just.
at it.
Yeah.
The big
Well,
one is
no,
much
it'll
more
say, do you wanna
impressive than
exit for everybody, and then you hit exit for everybody.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I'm sure.
Very good.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm glad to see you.
Good to see you.
So Jeff ambushed me, got me thinking about something else instead of what I was thinking about. So now I have to get my thoughts back on this.
Well, you can look at the agenda you drew up, that'll help.
That, well, yeah, I mean, that, I do a suggested agenda and Ken writes the other, writes it up actually.
Yeah,
And so if
but
there
it
are.
just provides a structure.
Sometimes he does the AI for me, you know, I'll say things like brainstorm, and I don't know if he used that word
He
on
did
there.
actually, yeah.
Oh, he did he? Okay,
AI
good.
can't understand brainstorming? It's a poorly educated AI, I think.
I don't know, but I mean, sometimes I've noticed that he takes my colloquialisms out.
Oh.
Yeah, that seems pretty well established, I would say.
I think so too,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, I've heard people talk about AIs having brainstorms, as a matter of fact, which is not a good thing,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not.
you know?
So they have hallucinations, I know that.
And that, yes,
Yeah.
also,
But I was going to
which
say.
is even more scary.
It's the colloquialism I would use is spitballing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if AI has emotion, roller coaster emotions.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Maybe.
Okay,
I
so
Depends how their hormones are.
that's true. Point.
You can take your heavy boots off too, so you feel good. Okay, but you're gonna be cold when you go outside. Oh my God.
My hands are kind of chilly. I'll take it off in a minute. Let me warm up.
Yeah, I had feet like that all night last night. I had to get up and put 2 pairs of socks on.
The Cross Brothers Dam removal is this in 2025, right? That's what
I
this
believe
says.
so.
That's the plan.
Okay, and then
Yes.
the bridge replacement is 2026.
Correct.
Okay.
That got delayed because of steel availability, couldn't count on it, right?
Okay.
Why you ask me hard questions like that? What I noticed is that the size of the people is totally wrong for the,
Oh, yeah, they look about this tall.
Lilliputian, they look Lilliputian, no, is that the little ones?
Yes, that's right, yes.
Yeah, they look Lilliputian. There he is. Patrick, I've been saying bad things about you.
Uh-oh.
I was saying,
That's all right.
these,
You want it, you can finish with me
these
here.
people,
or I
these
can
people
step
are
out.
little. They're too little.
People are little? See,
the-
that's the problem with scale.
Yeah, I know, people are little.
You want me to make them giants?
No.
You'd be
I'm
like the
just saying-
people of
I'm
Northfield,
just-
no one will come visit if they think we're giants.
I mean, like, these rocks look giant. When
Those
the
are just
peop-
made up, those, I
Yeah.
don't know where the rocks are.
Yeah.
This is close, that's where that is, you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, so eventually you just sort of makes it up. Yeah, there's probably
Yeah,
gonna be
now,
rocks
what
there.
kind of vegetation is this? I want to know.
Native.
Well,
I
I
read
hope
the
it's,
legend.
I
That's the only reason I
personally
know
hope
that.
it's raspberries because, or blackberries
Right
because,
now, it's knotweed probably.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's all right
absolutely.
too. Cause
No,
otherwise,
it's not.
what's
No.
to stop kids from walking right out here, you know?
Oh, and we were just talking last night about the path is beaten through the rose bushes by the cadets. I don't think that the blackberries or raspberries would stop kids.
They're considering putting a fence up.
Well, there's a retaining wall there now that I think based on plans for what they're gonna remove, they're gonna need to leave, like, all of this is gonna be like actually a retaining wall. I don't think that can come out to
Yeah.
retain that, otherwise that whole thing's gonna wash away. But then that's gonna be worse even, because then it's like, once they remove the dam and the sediment, the water is gonna be even lower there, so that retaining wall is gonna be like, 15 feet up.
Functionally higher, yeah.
Would it be only to these rocks, or would it wouldn't continue?
No, it's just behind where the dam is right now, to retain just the recapture dam. It's not really functioning now to hold water, like at one time when the dam was up, it would be, you know, above the height of the top of the spillway, but now it's basically acting to retain the bank back, because there's a giant building built there now, so they can't even put that out. Yeah, so that's not completely accurate.
This comes to fruition, it is absolutely gorgeous. Tree bushes are number 8.
Well, to turn this around.
Yeah, that was, so, this is sort of stuff that I was thinking we could plant, you know, like.
Carolyn, is this a good angle?
Hi, Tim.
Somebody else?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
But
I
most
could
of
see
this-
fine. I could see well before, except for the map. I can't see the map. But I just came out of another meeting, so I thought I'm going to put these meetings online back to back rather than dash down to the.
That's fine.
I don't think you really wanna mess with, like, this is like right now as it is, decent, like native vegetation, and I think you don't wanna mess with any of that, because it's gonna be too hard to get something else established.
Yeah,
Like,
I
the way
don't
the
wanna
water's
mess
going,
with anything
you
like
leave
that.
leave all the good stuff that's retaining
Absolutely.
soil, and then up here where they're gonna actually come in, this is all gonna be disturbed, so then you have an opportunity to plant something
Yeah,
else.
right.
So it doesn't need to be, you know, I love planting like fruit and nut trees and bushes and stuff. A lot of people don't like them for situations like this, because then it's like a maintenance thing. We have like blackberries and stuff falling on the paths, but it's like, I don't know, I think it's great.
That's-
If you have enough
So you got a
traffic-
purple stain on the on the.
Yeah,
path. I
you know,
mean,
like people hate mulberry trees because they're like so prolific that,
Yeah,
you know, but
but
like,
they're a lot more prolific than blackberries are.
oh yeah, well, yeah, blackberries, I don't know if I would do blackberries. We're constantly fighting blackberries at our place because they spread.
Oh, we
Yeah,
know,
as
oh,
they
we
said,
know,
yes.
oh, we know.
Like, if you wanna try to kill the knotweed there, like, go for it, just let them go. I'd rather have blackberries than knotweed, but like, right along the, yeah, so, I mean, it's all sort of up for,
Yeah, and it'll be much easier to come up with concrete plans once we actually see the graves and what's there.
yeah, yep.
So I only pulled knotweed one time, and that was with Carolyn about a year and a half ago before the flood. And What I understood was that it kind of travels, I guess, by water possibly. So
Yeah.
would it be
Yeah.
coming from upriver and it's
Oh, yeah.
constant battle?
Yes, I think
Okay.
we can expect that there will be constant reinfection
Okay.
with knotweed.
Yeah,
That's-
it's not great, cause it's all just, it's all choked all upstream from that, so this
Do
is-
goats and pigs eat knotweed? Goats and pigs?
Goats do,
people
goats
use
do,
manage.
Goats do? So
goats do. As a
maybe
matter
we
of
should-
fact, somebody in Montpelier rented a herd of goats to take down the knotweed along their path.
Yeah,
And poison ivy too.
Yes,
yeah.
That's a great idea.
Well, I know they
Or
took
some-
out the poison ivy on the pike path.
The problem is
In
they'll eat
Montpelier.
everything else too, so like if it's just knotweed, it's great, but
Yeah.
like once you start planting other stuff, I mean, I would imagine the person goes with the goats so they don't lose them in the river or the road or whatever, but.
I assume that goats are known to be very curious. I would be very nervous about leaving them like toddlers, you know?
So
Unintended.
maybe we should get a grant and get goats to clear this out.
The knotweed though, even if you mow it, like, you get the goats in, spend whatever it costs, they mow it down to the ground, it just comes back, like, there's no, like, you have to mow it, like, religiously and then plant other things that eventually shade it out, drown it out, like, it's really difficult to get rid of if you don't resort to, like, glyphosate.
Well, that's why I thought about pigs, because pigs they'll root things out.
Yeah, I don't know. But I bet someone's tried everything for
You can't,
knotweed.
like, basically you can't kill it, like, with the physical means once. You can't go through and, like, get the pigs to kill it all once and then leave and never come back, because it'll come back
Just
from the
fragments.
rhizome, so a root fragment will just make a whole new plant, so then,
Yes.
so it's like really, that's why people end up using glyphosate, because then that goes down to the roots, kills the whole thing, so that's like basically where it's headed.
And we're not encouraging glyphosate.
So
at
then the
river.
best way to do is just to accept that some of it will always be there
Yeah.
and continue to plant other things that outcompete it.
Yeah.
And eventually it's not just knotweed.
Yeah, all right, well, I think that's further down the road. What time is it now? Oh, it's 6:10, so it being 6:10, I call this meeting
6:10.
I call the meeting to order, and, we need to do a call of the roll, so for the benefit of the AI note taker, say your name, will start on my left.
Tim Swartz,
Pat Meehan?
Delane Knucklebean?
Mary Shernock, and out in TV land we have,
Carolyn Stevens.
yes, and who else? Nobody else. I think that's it right now.
yes.
Okay,
Carolyn Stevens, but in TV land.
You're it.
yeah, so I don't know that that's called a quorum or what, but at any rate, there's no scheduled public participation. We have to look at the minutes from November 20th, which I do not have. I
They're
did.
right over, they're right
Oh, they're
there.
there, okay. So, does anybody wanna take a minute to look at these, minutes? Is there any problem with any of them?
I scanned through it quickly and I did not see anything that really raised questions.
Uh-huh.
We have Tom Davis saying he was hopeful he'll have a firm answer before this group meets again December
Yeah, well, I
18th,
have an answer.
which did not happen then.
No, and it hadn't happened yet, but I have
That's what I
something that
thought.
he got from them as well. I also want you to note, Tim, that the other Tim's name is McAdoo,
I
just,
saw that, yes.
right, okay, and,
Yes.
that part is good. The project update, you were asking about that, it's gonna happen in 2026. And Fernandez Living Trust negotiations update, there's no rush on those negotiations because we aren't going to that section. Section C is the hardest section to do. It's curious because that planning process that's happening right now, those people are actually talking about section C. They're talking about the area where our section C would go.
Mhm.
So we'll see
Good.
what they say.
They
Are they
were,
familiar with our section C?
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
they're very enthusiastic about this whole concept too,
Yeah.
from what they told me.
But
Pat,
that's,
you may talk more
yeah,
about
the
it than I
important
did.
part is that they know that this is already in the works, so they don't reinvent the wheel or,
Yes.
build something else on top of it.
They know that that's happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Well,
had the little,
may I speak?
Say what?
John was down there yesterday speaking with them.
Good.
And he said that they seem to be inclined to propose housing, like senior housing, up on that, like on that path, like where the Fernandez buildings are.
Yes,
And Heath was thinking that they were going to be down closer to the river, but he advised them about the path. You know, he planned to be there, and they said they could move it farther, the buildings farther up.
the hypothetical buildings, yes.
yeah, right.
or
This is the
hypothetical
right time
buildings.
to move them,
Right. It's so much
They're so
easier.
easy to move when they're just ether, yeah,
when
That's
they're
right.
CAD.
this is so easy.
But we need to be careful to be aware of other people's plans for that whole area.
Yes. So getting some publicity out, which we're gonna be talking more about,
Yeah,
is a great way to,
yeah.
make sure this is on other people's radar.
And the recreational trail program, I don't know what happened with that, but I believe it went in. The outreach opportunities, we're gonna talk about tonight.
Yeah.
And future funding sources, and, so that's, can I have a motion to approve these?
I move that we accept the
Second.
meetings.
Okay,
Second
and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that's done. All right, so moving right along. Now we can talk about updates from previous meeting, the Dollar General request. Tom Davis writes, here's Tom Davis, hello, if you recognize him. I cannot be at the meeting, but here's an update. I heard back from Dollar General about them considering a right-of-way and also joining the Act 250 application. Here is the response to date, and this is classic. Hi, Thomas. Thanks for the detail. My apologies. Coming back from the holidays has been quite busy, and one of our two real estate attorneys went back into private practice, so we've had our hands full. Exclamation point, exclamation point. I'll certainly take a look and circle back with any questions. Thanks.
And that's dated when?
There is no date on this that I see. He didn't share the date with us.
Okay.
After the holidays though,
Yeah,
so not that long ago.
No,
But
yeah.
they basically just didn't do anything,
Oh, yes. Oh, the message was clear.
yeah.
I
They
was just
acknowledged they
curious.
got the email, I think.
so, there's another thing that Tom wanted to bring up, but I'll bring that up under new business after, we get to that point. The Act 250 permit, obviously, I just spoke about that, and the easements about that. So, we're nowhere. And, Tom did tell me, I believe, that he had made additional calls, but I haven't heard in the 24 to 48 hours since Tom told me that. I haven't heard that he heard anything else. So we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, waiting for Dollar General to come through with approvals. I suggest that probably when they see the tracked vehicles outside the door, that they'll be more responsive. Because the state will prompt them, the presence of those vehicles belonging to the state will prompt them to get going for us.
Well, they've already approved that, the easement or the temporary access for the construction.
Yeah,
They just haven't approved it for this.
no, I
So
know,
I don't know why.
So explain what's the difference?
The difference is that Dollar General's already agreed to let whoever rips out the dam use their property as staging.
Right.
So then we thought we would just piggyback on it and say, well, like, could we also have, the difference is that the staging is temporary. So they're gonna bring the equipment in and use the back behind the parking lot while the dam's being removed for like a month or whatever, and then
Okay.
they're gonna patch it up and leave. Whereas we're asking them for like a permanent path, basically.
Got it.
So it's sort of a
Temporary.
yeah, it's sort of a separate thing.
Sort of, I'm just saying that I'm hoping, I guess, that that stimulation will
Yeah,
move them
maybe.
forward, I don't know. Maybe I'm being unnecessarily optimistic.
And if Tom keeps poking them, perhaps he'll
Yeah.
get a response.
So,
That's all we can do.
that's all we can do. We're at their mercy. So we're on to the new business section of the meeting, and there are 3 sections that I thought of, and then we'll have more that anyone else thinks of. I would like to brainstorm or spitball, as the case may be, a submission for town report, which is due on the 22nd. So I have to write something, and I was planning to write it after I hear from you all tonight what I should say.
No.
So have at it, give me some advisement
Has the
here.
22nd happened yet? What's the date?
No,
13th.
today's
Got a week, we got a week, you're doing great.
You know, come on, you went to school, you know, a week is like eternity, we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
We don't have to look
For
things
6 more
up.
days, we've got plenty of.
Yeah.
We don't have to look things up,
Yeah.
we don't have to, document things, we just have to tell what's happening. I have a couple of questions which might help. Would you open up the smaller thing?
Yeah.
So we have 2 sizes of the things, the concept. Is that what we should call that, the concept?
Yeah, you call it like a conceptual design.
Yeah, the conceptual designs, we have, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have those, and we have 2 sizes because Holly Yakowitz, who is helpful in getting all this done, she was actually the person who got it done, said, oh yeah, this should be all these different places, so we have to talk about where that's gonna go.
Great.
But I wanted, and can you show this to,
Carolyn?
yeah.
You want it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Carolyn, I will try to get close. Where's it? Oh,
Here, yeah,
Oh,
put it
down.
like right here, cause it's trapped
Oh,
over
okay.
here right now, I think.
okay, gotcha.
There you go.
Whoa.
Oh, I see it. Thank you. Yes. Thanks, Pat.
Great.
So that's the kind of thing, and we have 8 of those, I think. Plus we have this second page, which looks like that. What is on that?
It's exactly the same as the second page of this, just as that is the same as this.
So this, the big conceptual design has the whole thing, and then there's like little call outs
Yeah.
with these scenes, and those are actually from this, they're just zoomed in at a different
Oh,
camera
okay,
angle.
okay.
So it shows you like what
Yeah.
people are doing, yeah.
Okay. So, I was going to see if I was gonna ask the town if the conceptual drawing A, and we'll call that other one B, if that conceptual drawing could be as part of the report.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, somebody's trying to get in.
Oh, I bet that's Caitlin. Oops.
Is she at the front, or did that door
Are you at the
close?
front or back?
Here, I'll go in there, you don't have any shoes on.
There she is.
Some kids never learn, right?
Well, on carpet, it's not so
I know,
slippery.
but she's gonna, there's just like something about stepping in a wet, cold puddle with your socks in the winter.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no one should have to go through that if they don't have to.
True.
But you
She's
said it
tough.
would be late, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Impulsive.
And we started late, so all we did was get through the most boring parts of the meeting, and now we're at the fun part. So,
For the benefit of the AII, please state your name.
Caitlin Keating.
thank you. Thank you. Okay, so, I was wondering if we should put this conceptual drawing in the town report.
Will
So-
that read on an 8.5 by 11 page? Because I'm guessing that that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah,
I
it all
don't know
depends
exactly.
on the resolution, you know,
Right.
like, probably, I mean, I don't know, good enough, I don't know what else,
Yeah.
you
It'll
know,
indicate that some conceptual drawing has been done at the very least.
yeah.
Is this the town report that comes out annually?
Yeah.
The booklet? Okay,
Before the meeting,
okay,
yeah.
I gotcha. I think both of those would be a great idea if they'll pop up one way or another. As well as I would like maybe a paragraph. I mean, we can read it here, but maybe a paragraph, just kind of a summary blurb.
This will not, none of the writing will be legible for
Yeah.
sure,
True.
you know,
At half that size.
you know, we could, but you could caption it with something like a larger version is available from the Riverwalk committee or something.
And posted at the
Yeah,
library,
yeah,
you know, we
right.
could, that's a good idea.
But even if, I'm thinking like the paragraph summary would be an asset to, is a possibility.
Oh, yeah, I think
So that kind
it's-
of explains.
Text is definitely a good idea.
Yes.
Well, what should the text say?
I think it would be good to outline like what our strategy is, like the Riverwalk is broken into 4 sections. We're starting by focusing on section D. We have some grant money. The dam is being removed later this year and we plan to pick back on the excavation. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines.
Yes.
As a proof of concept, and then, you know, building on what we accomplished with section D and getting people interested, will then work to complete the other sections in the future, something like that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Why don't we
Yes.
just write that?
Great.
Yes.
And I would probably include
Yeah, I
a couple of
got
these things
Robot
like the fire
overlords,
pit.
they'll take it, they'll improve it, then they'll take our babies from us and do our dishes all at the same time.
He's the only one that got a baby that he wants to have help
Yeah,
with.
Freudian slip there, huh?
But I would include like some of the ideas, fire pit, beach area, picnic area,
Yeah, right.
Accessible paths should be prominently
Yep.
mentioned.
ADA.
ADA, right,
first
ADA
mentioned.
compliant, yes.
Are these swings here?
Yeah, I mean, all of this is just stuff I literally made up by myself. Other things can be added, some of it can be scraped out. It was just trying to, you know, the opposite of the big committee and 6 months of meetings where everyone argues. One
Yeah.
guy and a computer and one
did
week.
it.
That's right.
Wow.
And the idea that there's gonna be benches has been talked about from the beginning.
Yeah,
We've just given that form.
yeah, it's like
as
where
a-
is
A
the,
sample.
yeah, like
Right.
it can all change.
Picnic tables.
Has this been raised? Sorry, I had to be late tonight, but, the select board approved of funding for a design that has otherwise been disregarded. I think it's helpful for building the path, correct me if I'm wrong, but the, timber and stone work. Will it be a problem that this is the image being put forth when that was, the image requested from Timber and Stone and paid for by the select board?
Right, this is not the timber and stone image.
Not at all, I mean, theirs wouldn't be helpful for the general public, I think
Right.
that's why this is so
Okay.
helpful
I
and
think I hear what
important.
you're saying, so they should pay me a bunch of money for this, and then it would be
I
okay,
honestly am
right?
like hesitating, cause I'm like, are you
I- no,
aware
I
that
don't-
like?
Yeah, no, I understand, I'm not
I'm-
being paid
I'm
for this.
Very aware that this was extremely
Well,
generous of you
I-
to have
and-
done this.
And
I
I
think
think
it's-
this should be talked about is what you've said all along, Pat, that this is a conceptual design.
Right,
Details will vary
You could
based
put,
on construction and final design discussions.
I mean, one of the problems with the timber and stone thing is like, it was like photographs and like someone took a yellow Sharpie and wrote on it, it wasn't like
Yes.
a sexy looking thing.
Oh, absolutely,
Right.
that's,
So
I think, what
it's
Katie
kinda
was
like-
saying.
right, it's
Yeah.
very functional, like the person building it, the group building
Yeah,
it is going to
And like the
use
tables
that.
with the marker wheel distances between things and the notes on like trees here, path will be
Yes.
carved out, like the
This
actual.
material
Section.
here,
Yeah, like all the sections, that was all like very useful for
Yes.
building. This was more like try to get people excited about
Buy-in,
it.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That was
Okay.
the functional design at A through D, and this is the conceptual, idea
got it.
for a D. Yeah, okay.
So it depends on how much space we have allocated in the report, like there's a lot going on, like how, you know, are they gonna say, like, we keep it to 1 page or something,
Yeah,
right? We're
that's
not,
what they
we're not
said,
doing
1
5
page.
pages with all
No,
these blowing up, it's
no,
like
no.
too much, like,
No,
No,
they
that's not
just
what
want,
and-
yeah. Yeah, people eating their donuts and drinking their coffee with that, you know.
Having a beautiful picture like this, I think is gonna go a long way.
Yeah, right. And I don't think that any of us is regarding this as committing ourselves to exactly this. I don't feel like there's any conflict in the intention of the timber
Yeah.
and stone design.
Yeah,
So I
But
call
it
it,
would be good to mention that like they were hired and they created a workable,
I call it a functional design.
yeah, right.
I think that's fair.
I took that from you.
Okay.
And then what you did is, what are we gonna call that, concept?
Conceptual design.
Yeah, and it's also a perspective view,
Yeah, right,
I'm
so,
gonna call it a perspective view.
right, because,
of section D.
It
Yeah.
seems more real life.
That just
Right.
addresses, I'm
Understandable.
seeing, someone who's been following how all the money's been spent and they see a line item for timber and stone
Right.
and just that addresses that enough. I
Right.
think.
Got it.
so,
That's smart though,
good thing to bring
because,
up.
yeah, you don't want everyone to be like, well, why did you spend money on the other thing and not even mention it? You know, like,
no, this is why we're throwing out these
And
ideas.
then it's a strategy to, do D and hope, starting with D as a demonstration of, what do we call it?
A proof of concept is one way to think of it.
Mhm.
That it's something, we're gonna be proving in the sense of testing, that people will like this. And use it,
yeah,
because I think they'll be using this long before we build any other sections.
but a draft schematic design, like you wanna put you wanna front load it with adjectives that let people know this isn't what's gonna get built. Like something like that,
After, what else, what kind of design?
like a schematic design,
Oh,
like an
schematic
initial
design.
sketch on what, that's why there's no dimensions and that's why the people are just shadows and the
Yeah.
trees are just outlines, like you do things like that to make it seem like it's not real, basically. Put some fog in there, all that kind of stuff, and people are like, yeah.
All these people
Maybe
are in
some-
shape too, look at that.
Oh, yeah,
Good for
no.
you.
No, that's just everyone in the stock warehouse, yeah, I should blow them up for the next one, huh? This isn't Europe, this is America, what are those people looking like that for?
Vermont. We're accessing nature and being healthy.
True, sadly. So I will get this done and get this in. And I did ask them when it was due, and I found out how much I had, and it was a page, no more than. And so if I do a page of text, or I'll see how much I can smush in there.
Yeah.
In the town report, do they ever allow, I know the town report is a vertical copy, but do they allow the horizontal?
Fold outs?
No, like, no,
landscape.
landscape. So like if you
Oh,
were
I
able to put
see,
this
I
on and
see.
this be the paragraph.
Okay. A larger version available.
I mean, if we only have one page, then we're gonna have to shrink this down to like
Yeah.
have the text, otherwise.
Yes,
Yeah, and,
I don't know if the text could be like
Oh,
fit
on
in
top
this
of it.
right
yeah.
here instead of, cause you said this would
Instead
be
of
too
that,
small, of
yeah,
course, but the text be here and it, I don't know, just.
yeah, I'm
trying
just
to-
thinking of,
Cause this is such
I
a
know how
beautiful
much space-
drawing, it
Right.
makes
I know.
sense to see it versus like what timber and stone, not knocking them down, but this makes sense to the average person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can visualize this.
do you think it's possible at all, Mary, because you've talked to whoever's producing this, to get 2 pages, one for this image and one for,
that's what I was wondering.
right, I mean, if you don't mind
A
asking.
landscape page and then a text page.
Yeah.
That'd be best case scenario.
Yeah.
At worst, also just defaulting to, for more information,
Yeah.
Yeah.
email this person or see the town website for meeting minutes.
Yeah,
a good
is this
Put it on
posted
them to.
on the website, do you know?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I guess it's up to
Is
us to
there,
put that
is
up
there a
there.
Riverwalk page on the website, or is there just notifications of our meetings?
Just notifications of the meetings and the
So I don't know
minutes.
where it would,
Yeah,
Well, we can refer them to the locations where we're talking about posting these in,
And
you know,
that's coming up,
on
that's on the list
on
of,
part B of the new business,
yeah.
so.
So you wanna go to that section?
Well, is that enough to get you started on a draft, and then
Gets me
you
started.
can send it out to a bunch of us
Remind-
if you want to?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I'm mindful also that I don't have a lot of room.
yeah,
So I tend to be real economical anyway when I write. I go through and try to write like an engineer.
that's great.
I used to teach sociology and I loved it. And I would get these engineers and they would boil down the whole smear, you know,
The
to
whole
three
topic,
quarters of a
right.
page, you know, it's like, oh yeah, okay, you hit all the things, or they do bullets. It was wonderful, you know, having them as students. Yeah, so,
Bullet points instead of bullshit points.
yes, that's right, that's right.
nice too.
And then you get political science people like, just cranking out the bullshit, you know. So, that was fun. Anyway, so let's move on to, and thank you for your ideas, and if you have more, you always can write to me. The plan, the campaign for raising awareness and building support for the project. So we're gonna have the large conceptual drawings. We've got 2 easels, this one and one more I found out.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have 2 easels, one is at the library, so we'll definitely have one there.
Well, that's a real,
And we might have the other one just be here, I don't know.
I think if you put it in the front hallway, that'd be good.
Yeah,
Well, do you, like, so there's 2 different drawings though, so do you wanna put them both at the library and set, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless an easel can take 2 of these big, you know what I'm saying, there's the overall and then there's the details.
Right.
So do you want
Just like
2
this, only
easels,
that big.
yeah, next to, or no, I guess these are, yeah. So do you want like the easels next to each other with the big one and then the little one, or do you want?
Is this gonna be on cardstock or what's gonna hold, what's gonna
Well-
be the firm surface?
it ought to be on foam core.
Yeah, I have
Is what it should be.
2 pieces of foam core and I have 2 easels that I like banged out quick before the farmer's market at home.
oh, bless
Wonderful.
your heart.
So I can use those if you guys
Oh.
need these for something else.
Okay, so BPL and municipal building, and we'll just put them up. We have 2 plus your 2.
Oh, you have, well then, yeah, so what I'm saying though, Mary, is to me, it would make sense to have both of these on 2 easels right next to each other,
Yeah.
so people, so if we wanna put them in 2 different places, you know, we could get,
4 easels.
But we
I
need
can't remember her name,
copies
to
of
print
each,
another
too.
copy of these, and then,
There's,
oh, okay,
yeah, we've got 2
That's
copies of
great.
each drawing. I
That's
just
great.
put the other ones back in here
yeah,
to say,
that's really good,
Just-
cause it's really
because we
not
had enough
cheap
of a
to print
tablecloth.
full color,
She did it for free.
I know, that's
that we're
good,
piggybacking on you, which is
good, they're.
payment in lieu of taxes, right?
Yeah.
These are pilot drawings.
So 2 here, so your 2 can be at the library and then
Okay.
the 2 here can be,
Well, I think we have to do one each of yours, in one of yours
that's
in
true.
each location,
Okay.
because I have one of these in
Right.
each location.
right?
Okay, that's fine.
Plus.
Oh, I understand.
So then I only have 2 pieces of foam core though that I
Okay.
got, so,
Well, the town can buy a couple pieces of foam core.
okay. And I bought those from Capital Copy, or the
Which
artist,
is
whatever,
The drawing board.
Yeah, the
yeah.
drawing board, they had it in stock when I was there, so that's,
They ought to,
easy enough.
yeah, they ought to.
So if the town buys it, who specifically goes and purchases
I don't know, I
these?
just bought it last time, I don't know how it works to get reimbursed or whatever.
Okay. So I'll be glad to go buy them, but I don't know how that
Yeah,
works.
I know that there's a treasurer that you can go through for stuff like that, I think you usually buy it and then turn your receipts in, and then I buy stuff for the energy committee sometimes, and it's easier to just not, but we don't spend that
Yes.
much money, so,
Yes,
you know.
familiar with that sort of process.
Would
But there is a process.
what do you call that? I just, when I did ARPA, I just called them and asked them what to do, and they said, oh, bring your receipts.
Yeah.
To the municipal building,
Yeah,
bring them here, okay.
there,
So I had printing done, and they just gave me receipts, and then I took the receipts to, or the invoices, I
Right.
took to them, and then they,
So you said you brought invoices, does that mean you didn't actually pay?
I didn't actually pay.
Okay,
No, that was
So-
just printing, so I don't know about buying things.
if you buy something and you bring the receipt in and tell them, then there needs, so the difficult part with this is like, this group doesn't have a slush fund or anything, right?
No
Like,
budget.
No, we have no budget.
So then I don't know how
other
it
than the
works. 'cause-
$50,000 allocated
That
by
we can't
the,
use.
the select board.
Well, you need like $4, you know, to buy this
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I'll just see what I can get for that.
I suspect that
Okay.
Ken McCann would know the answer to this.
Yeah. Get budget, yeah, I'll ask him. And then we have I need display locations for the smaller ones.
Mhm.
So where do you think we should put the smaller ones?
Well, you know what comes to mind is all those locations that those surveys are gonna be passed out
Mm.
from our,
Yeah.
walking task force.
Right, this is surveys for this other group.
Yeah,
Where are you putting your stuff?
She's the expert on that.
we are putting, I'll just run a list, that Northfield Elementary School, the middle high school, Good Measure, Carrier Roasting, Felino's,
Yeah, we gotta start talking about Felinos now.
Depot
They're
Pizza, Mobile Station,
South Villageville.
Senior Center,
Farm.
Senior center.
the pharmacy, and maybe, this is not on the list, but, the
Paul's General
thank
Store.
you, for reading my mind, yes, Dollar
Well,
General Store.
right.
I pointed in the right direction?
Yes, you did,
That
you
way,
did.
okay.
And it's where we live, so it's
Okay.
an easy connection to make, so.
And maybe the post office.
Did you see the library?
We're
Yes,
gonna have the
We're
big
gonna
ones
have
at
big
the
stuff at
library.
the library.
Right.
we're gonna have these.
And are we allowed to put something a post office? I mean,
I don't know, you can
No.
ask.
I can
Okay.
almost guarantee
Okay,
that on federal property, they're not gonna wanna advertise town business.
okay.
That's purely an opinion on my part, but
How many,
I'm not sure about the Falls Post Office, because she's let us post posters they were not official town business, but they were just event.
Mhm.
Like
She has an activity board there, but I don't think there's very much room.
no.
No, there's
the
not.
number of these locations, I'm curious how many we
Right.
have, and
We only have 8.
this isn't like our survey is just like this
It
size.
sits on the counter too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Right.
this, we want it to be on display,
Right, that's
but
what I was
not
thinking
in.
about, right.
Like,
So I only have 8.
What
I
about,
think I have 8.
what about like Norwich? Where, we don't, the survey's coming from Norwich, so that's a moot point, but what about one of these somewhere in Norwich?
I think that's a fine
Do
idea.
you
if
have
we
like
could
a
find
dining
one.
hall or a union or?
There-
There's
that
the
downstairs
library,
building?
the
Yeah,
library.
Kreuzberg Library.
Kreisberg Library is the only one that I can think of that
Yeah,
might be a good place to put.
they
Right.
might well have a display space, unlike any of the other places we've just talked about, you know,
I don't think we should,
That's a good idea.
good
I
idea.
don't think we can do it anywhere at NES or NMHS,
Okay.
because I only have 8, you see.
We also had Northfield Dental Group.
I mean, these
Wow,
are,
you
these are
guys are
easier to print out too,
Yeah.
like I could
Well-
print these at the library
Well, aren't there,
on 11 by.
the town has an 11 by 17
color?
copy machine. I don't know if it's color or not.
This
It
probably
is, I
got clipped because it'll scale down to 12 by 18, but it still worked, it looked like, mostly.
Yeah.
Like
She
it
took
clipped a little
something
bit of
out,
stuff
she
off,
said.
but, yeah, but it's fine, it'll like, it's good enough, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever.
The printer's not in the vault, right? Can I see if I can try it?
Yes, absolutely. I don't even know what it is.
Go ahead, give it a try.
Absolutely.
And I've printed off 12 by 18 stuff at the library before, so I need to do that too, that's That's another thing we need to steal on printing, cause they're like 15 cents and I'm like 12 by 18 color.
Well,
Gotta put that donation in every December, right?
I donate too, so between us, we can cover this, I think.
They call me and renew my books for me, so it seems fair.
Oh, yes, there, yes, oh, I will always give to libraries, regardless.
I don't know if it'd be anywhere. The other
I
places I
give to
didn't
the
list,
Keller cover too,
which may or may not
which is
work,
what I
would be Tops,
mostly use.
Dollar General, Northfield Pharmacy.
What size is this paper?
This, I think, is 11 by 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
it goes better on 12 by 18.
So you notice what I noticed,
If
okay,
they
I
have
know that
copy
South
here,
Village
no, that's
Mobile
what I
is
mean,
one that we have to
Yeah.
do,
There's none
because
of
those
this is to
people
scale,
feel
so it
like
doesn't
they're out
matter
in
for like, no one's
Siberia.
getting their
Right.
ruler out.
Yeah.
Right,
And
and.
Falls
I think
General
this got
Store
chopped off, it doesn't
is,
have the small ones.
I don't know how
That's-
many people look at her stuff, things up there.
I've
She's
only been
gonna
there
have
once
you-
or twice.
Yeah, she's gonna have your
thing.
thing on the counter, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, let me comment about this. The kids at Norwich we advise them to seek permission first before just walking in and,
Leaving your
assuming-
bikes there?
yeah, so,
And they're used to following orders over there. So, they probably will do it, is what I'm thinking.
I kinda gave them a
This is
quick
not
list of
Goddard.
what we did, so.
You cut down a tree for this, man?
I need one more and I have an even dozen. Anyway, and then I can make reference to where these, where these are.
How about the
Yes.
grade
So,
building?
okay, one thought,
And then
so like when this
interior.
is, did you do it?
Yeah.
Great, look at that was easy.
The auto was black, but I just pressed color and look at that.
Look
Yes,
that's
at
great.
that.
These
So,
days,
one thing I would
color's
say
not so
though is
unusual.
when we hang these up, we're gonna wanna put like a little
yes,
quarter sheet, just down here in the water or something that's like, to learn more, email the Riverwalk group, cause someone's gonna see this and be like, what the heck is this? Is that the
yeah, well, right.
school?
I think there should be more than just email the Riverwalk people.
Yeah, but like
There should be a description.
something that's
Right.
like,
Something like what Mary's gonna write for the town report could be posted there
yeah,
on a
like,
separate piece of paper.
cause part of this is getting more people to
Yes,
weigh in and help with this stuff.
Should I
right.
go make a few more?
Do you want the other page? Because there are 2 pages.
Yeah.
How many should I
I don't know, I feel like we're stealing.
do? I do too,
Well-
yeah.
I don't know, I think we should wait until we get permission.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go reset the printer.
Yeah,
because I think
go,
the
I
next-
feel like we're stealing.
Wipe the cameras.
You had gloves on, right?
Oh, no.
And then there has to be a submission to Northfield News, and now that's the trick, is, their due dates are,
It'll be February 8th. It's
that's
been
due for March,
for March or later in February.
which would be then not out until April?
No. The February 8th, no. The February 8th deadline is for nominally the March edition, but they come out earlier than the date on the issue.
Oh, right,
They
they
come
do.
out in like, the February one will come out in late January, I expect.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know that we should have this. Okay, so if I put the thing is, it's gotta be timed so that I have all this stuff happening at the same time, or around the same time. Should be the same week.
Well, you could contact Northfield News and ask them
Yeah.
if you submit something by the 8th, will it come out before town meeting,
Yeah,
or when will it come out?
yeah, it doesn't have to come out before town meeting.
Well,
But
It would
town
be
meeting
nice to
is March
coordinate it.
3rd, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it should if they come out before the,
right, it should, but I don't, this is
nope, this
my
is it, you
impression.
said it. You're on the line now.
No,
Well, do we need to
AI,
have,
change what I
here's
said.
another thing, should we tote something, should we not have? Do these big ones go in around public library the same time as town meeting, or?
I think
For now.
we should just go put them up. Like,
When we have them ready to put up.
yeah, I mean, I can go put them up tomorrow if I just bring both of them. If I take these 2 home tonight
Yeah.
and bring my 2 easels over there, I can set them up tomorrow, and then if you need an easel moved over here or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if there's an easel over there, I can
There
go
is
talk
supposed to be an
That's what
easel
she
over
says,
there.
Okay,
It's in the, back in the corner
Okay.
behind where the select board sits.
tomorrow I'll bring my easels and the boards, and I'll take these home and tape them tonight, and I'll bring it all back to town. I'll
Yeah.
talk to Sherry, and if I need to move an easel over here, I'll do that.
Yeah, can you put on here what this is so they know?
Like a paragraph.
But yeah,
Cause
you spit
nobody's
out a
gonna,
paragraph earlier, really well.
huh?
He dictated a
Yeah,
paragraph
it sure did,
easily.
yeah.
AI here.
that's just the AI, there's a.
Oh, okay.
Right
Oh my
there,
gosh.
that's me.
PMAI.
Do you subscribe to that annually, or?
The AI?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's.
And on December 31st, if he hasn't paid it, you're
Yeah, I know,
gonna.
yeah. That's why I didn't come to the last meeting, because my subscription had lapsed.
So,
Just like we all can't remember phone numbers now.
now, the last,
Yeah,
A
right,
true
that's
phenomenon.
true.
okay, so I got all that, so now we're down to 4, scheduling of community meetings. Do we need to do that yet? I don't think so,
What's the purpose of it?
yeah.
I mean, what would be the purpose of the community meetings?
Well,
To share this information and get people to buy in and volunteer?
I
well,
think the
find
com-
out what their questions are.
I think the community meetings are to build support for A, B, and C,
Well, I
cause
think,
we're gonna go ahead with D anyway.
yeah, right. But there will be the final design tweaks, like we've talked about, that this is, an arbitrary version. And see if there are concerns that people have once they see these and things that they see are missing, or they don't understand why it's there.
Yeah,
I was thinking maybe we should wait till they've done some of the removal of,
Who knows when that'll be?
yeah, I did get an email from the engineer with their initial draft proposal thing for where they're going in and stuff. I haven't reviewed it yet, but I need to ask the I can't remember, the acronyms really bind me up. The woman who works for the nonprofit or the state agency that's sort of managing the dam removal, whether or not that's something that's allowed to escape the list of people it was emailed to. Like if it's something I could share, or it's something where they're like, well, we don't really want it getting,
Publicized.
cause it's not finished yet, it's their 30% design or whatever.
Right.
But I think we probably wanna have a community meeting before they start moving dirt, because it's not gonna take them that long to rip this out. Once there are vehicles there, that's really expensive for the contractors to have all that equipment there. So I don't think, they're not gonna be there for 6 months puttering around. They're gonna be in and then they're gonna be out. And as soon as they're out, that's the time that we need to get people there putting down stone dust and planting whatever and,
yeah,
so I think it would be good, yeah, we don't need to have the equivalent of what happened this weekend with the design people now. But I think sometime before anything has happened there, we need to have at least a notice where people can come and weigh in on whether or not they want, a pergola or berry bushes, even if it doesn't happen, just so they feel like they're involved and we get good ideas and we realize maybe we had our heads in the right place.
I think it's premature to
Yeah.
schedule it yet until we have the easement.
So this is what I mean, we're stuck in between a rock and a hard place with the dam's getting removed no matter what this year at whatever date in the summer. Dollar General hasn't got back to us.
No.
We can't do something with the community until we know this can happen, because Dollar General could shut the whole train down just by not playing ball. So we can't do anything yet, for sure.
Then we have to switch to organizing a boycott of Dollar General.
Well, okay, in speaking about, not the boycott, but in speaking about what you just said, so if Dollar General shuts this down, then all this becomes moot.
Yeah.
So we're
There's no way to
putting,
get back there if they don't let us on their land, because there's no space.
so are we being premature in posting these around town
I
then?
don't think so, because this is just a concept, we're not saying this is definitely happening, I think it's, if anything, it's good to like give a little nudge, not that
And
it's
get
ever gonna
buy-in.
get back to the attorneys,
Right.
but if there are people that are interested in this happening, then Dollar General, gives us something to tell them. If they're dragging their feet about it, or they're saying, well, we don't know about this, we'll say like, well, there's a lot of interest in town. These are the people that shop at your store, you're not spending
gonna
any
look
money,
good.
like, it's just improving your property,
Mhm.
And it'll bring people to their store
right,
in the most
exactly.
immediate way.
Yeah.
Right, not just out
Popsicle
of
sales,
goodwill,
right?
but, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get popsicles home.
Lemon heads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then in the blurb, it needs to be mentioned somewhere that this is not a guarantee, it's a,
Yeah,
what, you just use a good word, I don't remember what it was.
It's a proposal.
A proposal, okay.
Yeah, cause if we do this in a vacuum, Dollar General has no reason right now to say yes or no to us.
they're only disappointing like 6 people.
Exactly, yeah. So it would be helpful for us to get more people knowing that this relies on Dollar General saying yes.
Gotcha.
This awesome thing that could happen
Right.
relies on Dollar General's cooperation.
And I don't think we need to like push that sort of
Not
like
belabor
go
that
into the
yet.
store and complain to the manager yet, but like eventually, yeah, why not? Like
Yes,
eventually they're gonna get annoyed because the person managing that store doesn't care about this, they just don't wanna be annoyed,
yes.
They have some phone number, I'm sure, but
Well, and Tom did send back, he got a reply.
yeah, right.
Yeah, she
Yeah, I
read, she
read
just
it.
read it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It's a non-reply.
sure.
It's a, oh, well, we realize that you're there and we're thinking about it. I don't know.
We stayed at a bed and breakfast once, Liz and I, like not an Airbnb, an actual bed and breakfast in Newport, and the guy, 2 out of 3 days, didn't show up for breakfast, like the owner, there was just no breakfast, he was nowhere to be heard from, and when he called us on the phone to apologize later in the day, he said, I hear your words. That was his response
I
to
hear
like,
your words.
I hear your words. Like when I was like, it's a bed and breakfast, man, like, I mean, no big deal, but
We
like,
did
that's
get a
half of the
bed.
deal. He was like, I hear your words. And I'm like, that was like his response to like, not you're right, like, it was like that kind of reply, like,
Yes,
thank
you're
you
right.
for your email, I read your email, and I'm like, all right.
Did you get a
Yes.
50% reimbursement?
We did, I think he charged us for like 1 out of 3 days, it was a great deal in the end.
Alright.
Liz was worried though, cause he told us when we got there, he was diabetic, so like, she's a physician.
Oh,
So the first
yeah.
day when he didn't show up for breakfast, she was like, do we go up there? Like, is this guy like,
Yeah, lying in a diabetic coma.
so we say that all the time, like when you're not really acknowledging or interacting with someone, you're just like, I hear your words. Like, I'm like, that doesn't do me any good.
I'm glad you clarified that, because the way you pronounced it was woods.
Oh yeah, words, no,
Yeah, you
yeah.
said words.
Sorry,
And
the guy
I
had
thought
this.
that's how he
I
sounded.
hear your words.
I get
And
it
I
now,
thought,
but.
and where was this here? And where was
It was
this?
in Newport, Vermont.
Yeah.
Thought we'd go up there and stimulate the tourism industry after that whole pit incident, but
Yeah.
probably not again.
I made Carolyn laugh.
That's not hard.
It's good.
So, we need reports from the field. That's one of the things that I think, the reason why I wrote that is one of the things that I think is the most important thing about these meetings is all y'all come and tell me stuff that you know from other meetings you go to. So, talk among yourselves.
Use your words.
Use your words.
Use your words.
Indeed.
Well,
Well,
How did
4
they
of the
get
6 of
over
us
there?
are on the accessibility committee, so, and you live with one of
Well, I
those
live with the
members, so you might be
accessibility
updated.
committee.
The accessibility committee is working with Norwich students on more paths in town, essentially.
Right.
Boiled down to
Accessibility and
more paths in
sidewalks,
town.
right.
accessible sidewalks,
Which is
more
related
toward
to
12 and
this.
12A.
Did someone meet with the design folks this
Tim
week?
did.
That are,
Yeah.
you went in,
The
they
the
called you
went in
entire
on Monday.
committee did.
no, I went in,
but
Oh,
not
okay, good.
but they were
Norwich.
eager to
No,
talk
that's
to me.
great, yeah, I just wanted to
And
make sure someone.
Specifically wanted to talk to me about the task force, so I gave them
Okay,
you know, a bunch of summary
That task
information.
force was involved with that contract, that group from the
Getting it
beginning.
started, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know that that had happened, I didn't know that they were already working on it, so that's good that
Yeah.
you got to go and,
Yes.
and sort of,
Our understanding is Norwich also didn't know,
yeah,
and there wasn't Norwich representation at those, including the group of students that has been actively working on this for our task force.
okay,
We encouraged them to go to tomorrow night's meeting.
Yeah.
And this morning.
And this morning, but
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that was last
Yeah.
minute.
yeah,
And Carolyn says that John talked to them and told them that we had designs on the C section, and that they should move their proposed multifamily housing, senior housing expansion back away from the proposed C section.
Away from the river to make room for the C-section.
Yeah, which sounds
The
like a
C-section.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
OBGYN.
Where is I'm unfamiliar
we
with
just
this
have a
proposed
natural
senior
river
housing.
This is all I've heard
What's
about it
up,
too.
right?
They are looking for infill opportunities in that little quadrant where the river bends around, and there's the path that goes to the pedestrian bridge and the railroad, you know, so there's like a quarter
Right
of a,
behind,
right.
the White House with the cat food that,
yeah,
That used to be a Grange
Fernandez.
Hall, yeah.
okay,
well, there's
so
two
that
buildings
green
there.
space back there.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Where I've
you know.
picked apples.
And it's right across the path from the other senior
Yes,
living, okay.
exactly, yeah. But it's very good that they're not thinking of preempting our path, thanks to John.
Yeah.
So that's very good.
Okay, so back up for just a minute. So I know where the two buildings are that Fernandez, I guess, is their storage buildings. So what is the hopes that, yeah, I know you're gonna draw it, that'll help out.
Yeah,
I would start at the footbridge,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's an easier orientation for me.
you're crossing the footbridge coming toward the common.
Mhm.
Okay, you look on your left and there's the green space, there's a couple of big apple trees there.
Mhm.
That's what they're talking about as the infill for more senior housing.
So that senior housing would be senior housing, River, and then Water Street. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, no,
Yeah,
it's senior housing. What it would be senior housing, section C, and then the river.
that's actually section B,
Oh, it's B.
Yep.
yeah.
B section.
Yeah, right.
Bridge, so
Okay.
senior.
I like that better.
So this is the railroad.
Okay,
It would basically replace those Fernandez storage buildings.
okay.
Right.
Oh, not fill, and fill the green space.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know whether it would fill the green space, but it was
Okay.
more toward the road there, more
I
toward the
see.
house.
Yeah,
So this is the current senior housing.
that's correct, yeah,
This is the path that goes from the bridge to the
Right.
over the railroad track.
right.
Fernandez,
Storage buildings there
Storage
and
buildings.
Fernandez Hardware is right there.
okay. So this would be an
And
ideal
this is the river.
place for the new senior.
Right, somewhere
Housing.
like this. I
Okay.
don't know anything about the footprint that they're talking about.
Okay,
oh,
We'll
this
find
is
out
like
more.
really, really early stuff too, like
Oh,
this
this
is,
is-
yeah,
right,
this
this
is like
is-
a designer saying, if I had like lightning bolts, this is what I would do.
And they would like to lay out really aspirational
Yeah,
stuff for the whole
right.
town.
Yeah,
And they are not saying, this is going to, we expect this to happen next 5 years or 10 years even.
but we are in a literal crisis right now, so
I
it
understand,
might be
but,
sooner than we
right,
think.
but we should not stop them thinking about this stuff.
Well,
I think we're saying
yeah,
the
it's
same
good.
Yeah.
ultimate thing.
We aren't here to talk about housing, but I will say that since we're doing reports from the field, at last night's select board meeting, Tom Davis gave a report on a proposal to create a nonprofit entity, much like the one in Bennington, much like the one in Randolph, that would be a player in the market and buy and build and own housing. And the housing would be it'd be affordable, what think of as workforce housing, not subsidized housing.
Mhm.
Okay, so not
Which is
section, not
Cabot's
section,
main complaint, right?
yeah,
Yeah, And other
But,
businesses
but,
too, yeah.
but the proposal, the proposal is stymied, because we don't know how to do this, since it's the municipal planning director's idea, you know,
How independent,
yeah,
Is
how
this-
independent is he gonna be? You know, how do you have him, does he just sit on the Xerox machine and duplicate himself? I mean, how does he work both for
only got
us?
certain parts of
How
someone
does,
in that
how does
case.
he work both for us as in this, as an economic director for the town of Northfield? And how does he
Yeah.
launch this thing?
Which is usually at least a quasi-independent entity
Yeah.
from my very limited understanding.
Yeah.
Community Development Corporations is the moniker that I've heard for these
Yeah.
operations, I know that that's what the one Randolph was called,
Yeah,
but
It was, when I was learning about, before Northfield had the economic development director, but when I was learning about that, that was one of the strongest suggestions. Don't have the municipality govern this position, because
Okay.
that's an inherent conflict of interest. Any developers are not gonna talk to a public official, they're not gonna
Yeah.
talk to a public servant. But Northfield wouldn't accept that proposal, so we landed on a municipal position, which was a compromise. But the strong suggestion was have that be an independent role in the town for conflict of interest purposes.
Right,
because
But then
of
you're,
that.
you're just depending on someone like standing up their own, like, you know, hanging their own shingle out and saying, I started a nonprofit, it's gonna be housing, like,
yeah.
that's a really difficult thing to do, to just bootstrap that, like, that's a lot
Yeah.
of money just to get that going.
Yeah, I don't know how that stuff is started. I don't know. Caitlin, did you get any insight into that from, you've talked about there being an entity like this in Waterbury also.
Yeah, like revitalizing Waterbury,
That's
they get
right,
their
yeah,
funding, 1/3 from the town, 1/3 from business, payments, whatever, and
Contributions,
1/3 from fundraising events and stuff, so there's
I see.
lots of models
Yeah,
out there, I'm not super
You need
familiar
the
with
person
them,
though
but-
with the time to do that and not be paid for it, basically, is like one of.
until they
what I
start
think.
raising their own salary, you mean?
Yeah, well, like, you know, for instance, like, if Tom was gonna do that, then, you know, I, like, doing what he's doing now and doing that, especially initially, once there's momentum, it's like
Exactly.
starting any business, it's not as hard as getting it off the ground, but getting it off the ground, like, that's like more than a full-time job.
The
and, like,
launch.
you can't,
Yeah, launch
to
is
try
so
to
hard.
start,
Absolutely.
acquire the first few properties and learn how to do it and what to navigate, like, so like,
Right.
He is very experienced, if anyone would do it.
right, he has more of a background to be able to do it, it's just that and what he's doing now, even if there is no, even if it doesn't end up being a conflict of interest, it's a lot for one person to do well in both veins, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we wait with interest to see what happens with this. And I know you're waiting with interest too.
I don't know, I feel like this. That's how I feel about that. I
What
don't know.
about Downstreet? Is Downstreet a totally independent entity?
I believe so. They operate in many different towns, I know that. So I don't think they're tied to any one town.
Well, I know that Katie, my
Comes from.
daughter, is on the Housing Authority in Montpelier,
Yeah.
on their board. And they deal a lot with Downstreet, but I
Sure.
don't know what the ownership issue is there.
Yeah, they do
I
a
was
mixture.
wondering, would it be possible for Northfield to actually own these properties?
That's a big increase of responsibility and bureaucracy for Northfield to set up a
Maintenance.
housing
Well-
authority to own.
Well, it is, but it has, Northfield has a utility.
That's what I was
That's
just
true.
gonna say.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we have a utility and then we're gonna have a housing authority, the Northfield Housing Authority.
Well,
And
I don't
it'll
know,
be,
I'm just grasping at straws here.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
it's
feel like
likely,
I'm
I like
stepping
the
in.
idea, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well,
I don't know. I
I
don't
just
know.
hope we don't lose Tom in the process.
Well, yeah. he's already got that idea,
I
so,
know.
If you lose them to that, it's a good thing to lose them to at least,
yeah,
you know, instead of
Losing him to Stowe.
or Schenectady,
Very true.
or somewhere else.
Schenectady. Our nemesis.
Are we?
I don't know, why not? We should have a nemesis.
You mean like Norwich has Dartmouth?
Yeah, right, like that. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Combating, you know, we have cheerleaders that, who are hurl insults at each other. I think that's.
I'm gonna stand Carolyn out there. Carol, you go, Carolyn. Shout insults at them. So,
So-
any other committees or projects to hear from that are, because everything
This is-
helps everything else.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I mean, we were just saying at the select board meeting last night, that the VORAC stuff has a lot to do with why this other stuff was happening.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Right.
success begets success. Once you start
Right.
being lively about things, then people pay attention and want you to be lively about other things.
Well, and really, the VORAC was the first the VORAC grant was the first concrete result of the Ridge and River Routes Planning Group.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So,
Everything else seems more feasible after we saw that that could happen, that the town could get this big grant and start, you know, I mean, I'm still waiting to see the actual signs go up.
they're waiting till they can dig in the ground, that's what
Yeah,
Debbie said yesterday
That's what
at the
happened.
Oh,
select
good.
board meeting.
okay. So she was there to give a report. Good,
Yeah, that's why we were talking about it.
good. I just didn't know that, you know, we were getting it right from her. That's great.
You wanna talk? You start to say something.
No, I said good.
I don't have anything else, there's nothing else on the agenda, I think I know what my marching orders are. I've got the deadline on the 22nd, get something in. How about if I just write to you all and tell you what's going on?
Yes, please keep us updated and the other people
Uh-huh.
on your list, of course.
It's a long email list and I'll just write
Yeah.
like I did when I screwed up in December and we just didn't even have a meeting. None of y'all noticed,
No worries.
I talked to you, I think.
did you? I
Yeah,
don't,
you called me when I was in Iowa.
oh, that was after.
After I had another meeting I didn't wanna go to, because I was in Iowa, and you were like, we can't have a meeting. And that was great.
You told me you're gonna get the phone board, right?
He's getting the phone
I'm
board.
gonna set up.
But I
some-
was gonna get a budget to see if there was more, that we could get more.
I'm gonna
Because
bring
we
the
only
ones
have
in that
two.
I already have.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get the library one set up tomorrow,
Yeah,
and then,
the library is tomorrow and then we'll do this one down here when we have more foam board.
I mean, do we just like repurpose stuff in the room?
There's,
Is that-
there's an easel right there and then Pat has an easel.
You mean, are we?
Repurposing like that large, yeah, the cardboard, something like, is there something in this room we could use to just,
Well, if we
Hold a
got
piece
here
of
before
paper?
they destroyed the cardboard, we could, yes.
Can we leave a sticky note on it or something?
or I don't know what that trifold is over there, but we didn't open it. Is that something we could just use as a background?
I like the way you think.
Then you don't
Well,
have to
look
worry
at
about
this
being
though,
hungry.
darling.
what about those foam boards?
Oh my
Great
goodness.
thinking.
There's
I-
nothing on them.
I just sensed.
Yeah.
There's one,
Look,
There.
Perfect size, right?
and
this is 2 by
Yeah,
3.
you know what?
what do we do with this one? What
I
is
don't know.
this?
They shouldn't have left it sitting there.
This is very, oh.
EF Wall
Northfield
Northfield
Police
Police Department.
Well, that's,
the
This
date
is a
on it?
little
what's-
overdue.
yeah, what's the date? Is there a date on it? There must be a
Not
date on
down
it.
here, I don't see one.
Music.
Well, wait,
Title
wait,
block
wait.
should always have.
Oh, 7.
2007,
Nice.
Yeah, that's about right.
Sweet.
Yes,
14 years ago, you think it's
Yes.
a boot now?
I think it's high
And
time
since
to.
it's up, I think it's
14
done.
years ago, what year do you think it is right
What am I, what, I'm doing poor math here. I know it's, 2025. but-
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
only
I've
been
stood-
that for,
that's
like,
on
no,
it.
I just
Everybody-
stared at you
I-
like, I'll let Delane get there, 'cause I don't wanna.
Oh, look, oh, and it's already been repurposed. Oh, look at that. Ooh, wow.
There we
Oh,
go.
well, yeah,
There it is, 2007 GCM.
That's great.
So do you think
Can you
this
see
board's
that,
been sitting
Carolyn?
back there since
I'm
2007?
sorry.
Do I
Are you
think
able
that?
to see the,
Probably before.
the
Stake my
drawn
life on
image
it.
of the fire department and the police department?
Oh,
Yes. Sure.
can you see this,
beautiful,
Caroline?
beautiful. We have a NCDN has a trifold in this room that's
Do you wanna go ahead and put this on there then?
we could improve if necessary.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if we need another one, I don't think we need it, these are two perfectly sized foam boards, so.
Let's pop it on.
And then we can give
Pass me a
the,
couple of those, please.
And then, so we need another pair of these printed still, right?
no,
The
it's
big-
in
the
the,
big guys?
no,
Oh,
for
you
you.
got it, so I'll take that home and put that on
Here.
mine. Yeah, great.
That's all that's in there.
Would you stick this on there? You've got better fingers. than I
Rensselaer
do.
School of Architecture, looks like Norwich is also repurposing. Is that like a,
That's really funny.
I wonder if that was from John.
Did he go to the Rensselaer School of Architecture, though?
No, he went to Cornell.
Yeah.
John Bukowski.
Yeah.
oh,
Oh.
this is Rensselaer mailed something to Norwich.
It's not
So
very far.
The only thing we need here is the paragraph
Now,
attached to it.
yeah, we need the paragraph attached to it.
And we need to put this on
And we need more clips, so
Well,
we're
or
done.
tape.
Or tape.
Yeah, printers tape.
too. Caitlin, go see if you can find some clips somewhere. Ha ha ha.
Or
Since you
tape.
found
We're not gonna
this.
invite us, it's just gonna be.
Hey, there she is. Oh, look at you.
She's got a nose,
I
that's
thought
very
I thought
good.
you're gonna have to leave the room again,
This
then
is why
there's just gonna
she's
be all
in
this
Lost.
film of you stealing things, and they're like, you're no longer allowed to be on committees outside of business hours.
Mary, if anyone questions anything,
I
I
saw
will be
nothing.
using your name.
Honey, I used to work in corrections. I'm way ahead of you. I already know how to do this.
Hi, Caitlin Keating, Shernock Acquisitions here. I was wondering if you had any office
That we can
supplies.
cover it. There we go. All right,
Ta-da.
that's all done.
Although you know this was all recorded, so they know what we did.
What, are they gonna fire us?
I know. Well, what are they gonna?
They're gonna dock our
Garnish
pay.
our wages, yeah, that's what it really comes down to.
Okay, so now we've got this.
It is where it hurts.
So now there's one, so when I put the ones up at the library tomorrow, do you want me to bring the other easel over to the municipal building and?
No, I want you to bring
You
the
only have
second
one
easel
easel,
over
right?
here, because all we have right now, we have this easel here.
There exists one here and one at the library right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Okay.
you're bringing, you're
Yes.
you're making, you're
Thank
doubling
you.
our
Yes,
resources
and
here.
wonderfully so.
They're not as nice looking as that, but.
It'll work.
They
People
work.
shouldn't be looking at the easels, they're looking
That's
at
true.
the images you created are so beautiful that no
Yes.
one will notice.
And then, do you guys want, if we're trying to do this tomorrow, are you okay if I just print a paragraph out and put
Yeah.
on that, or does everyone
Yes.
wanna
Print the paragraph out
Yeah.
twice,
review it and?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
But then we also need, how many more?
Well,
well, we'll
let's,
get to that.
let's start with these.
Okay.
yep, I'll do that, I'll do a page for these and I'll go print that at the library tomorrow before I put them up and move the other easel over here and put those up. Where do you want them in the building here?
Where they let us.
And,
Okay.
yeah, in the hall is what we were thinking.
Okay.
That's where the most number of people will see it.
Okay,
because that's
and
where
then
it's
I'll
I
email
think-
out,
Fire department fire marshal has things to say about that, so
Well,
I'll let them decide.
Then you, right,
I'll talk to Kim and see what she says, and I'll talk to Sherry and see what she says, let them decide where
Yeah,
they go.
yeah.
And then I'll email out the text, and if you guys wanna change it or edit it, or we print it and put these up, catch
Yeah.
typos or add something or redact it, then
Yeah.
we can
well,
take a second run at it.
once we start getting reactions, that could be a way, a time to think about, updating it. If it seems that something wasn't clear to the people that looked at the first draft.
Yeah, right.
Cause we suffer from knowing too much.
Yeah, that stuff
You know?
gets in your head, and you never
Yeah.
get it out. Here it is.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
Good catch, Caitlin.
Yes,
yeah.
Is it what you do?
Kayla
Only
the
there
Clipper.
was something we could put in, you're like, it's like
Can we get those
just.
doors off the cabinet?
Well, this all started because one of you said, can you use this cardboard?
Oh,
You're like, move
Caitlin.
those foam boards out of the way so we can get to that cardboard.
And then I stood up and went, uh-oh.
It's really silly, but it is like so much hoop jumping to get like a little, like,
Yes.
I know you don't want any uncouth business going on, but man, it would be easy if there was just like $100 that you could come in and be like, Kim, is it okay if I like just, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I understand why it's not, it just really.
Yeah.
Yes. This is what petty cash is for in a business,
the word.
for the same,
Yeah.
for the same reason.
Right.
Or
So
even just
if
the
we
permission
have a
fee.
nominee, have a motion to adjourn,
I so move.
I second that.
and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And so we are adjourned at 7:18.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Oh,
thank you.
Bye,
And
Karen.
since we,
in person.
since
But it
we
was the same night
started,
as the serve meeting.
since we started at about 6:10, this is an hour and 8 minutes. I'm trying to get us down to an hour, but I have, yeah. So, if you don't mind, I'm gonna get us out of this now, okay?
Bye, Carolyn.
Bye.
Bye, Carol,
night.
bye, Carolyn.
See you tomorrow night.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah,
We will.
tomorrow's the other thing.